right, the next two stories we have are about two different people stepping down from Disney. So first one we have is Disney CFO, and at one point we had heard this as well, potential Iger successor Christine McCarthy is stepping down from the company.
Yes, and I'm actually going to read what I think it was Iger said about it. He said, Christine McCarthy is one of the most admired financial executives in America, and her impact on the Walt Disney World Company during 23 years of dedicated service cannot be overstated. Christine has served as a key strategic anchor during a period of great transformation, and she and I have discussed her desire to ensure an orderly and successful CFO succession in advance of the company's transition to the next CEO. She is stepping down from her CFO role as she takes family medical leave, but has graciously offered to move into an advisory position to assist her successor in assuming the duties she has so expertly handled these many years. And she said, I'm immensely grateful for the opportunity Bob provided me to serve as CFO of this company. She's said, although I'm leaving, I look forward to helping with the transition. Basically, like, thank you for letting me transition out of this slowly, I guess. But this all takes place July 1st, I believe.
Just once I'd like to see somebody, go away and be like, yeah, they were terrible. They're the worst. Then the rebuttal's like, yeah, I didn't like working for Bob. They won't do that, but I'm just saying they all the same thing.
But I wanted to say she joined Disney in 2000 as treasurer and became CFO in 2015. So she's been with the company for a while.
She's this is interesting, I will say. So you have obviously the statement that Disney gives, and then you have, having been around the corporate world and knowing people in it, it's very much like what you see in the shows many times in movies. It's kind of like that. So some of the things that have been leaking out were that she was, there's a couple of things. First off, she was named in that lawsuit.
Okay.
The Disney Plus lawsuit that was named her and Chapek and Kareem Daniels.
Right.
So I no clue if that has anything to do with it, but she was named in that lawsuit a couple weeks ago, which they were alleging essentially fraud.
Right.
Which is not anything to take lightly.
Right.
The other thing that has been hearing is that she was at odds with Iger and some of the other higher-ups overspending. And from what I had heard, it was spending on especially like movies and shows, which to her credit, she has a point. Because a lot of these, if you're looking at these Disney movies and shows, they all have $250 million budgets or more. I mean, Little Mermaid, Guardians, like every single one of these, even some of the, they came out and said Andor, the Star Wars show that's on Disney Plus, I think it had a budget of $250 million.
That's insane.
So, if that was one of them, which she would be the type that, she's CFO, so that would be part of her role. So I don't know. We probably will never know, but it's interesting things there. So a lot of times what they say is not always what happened, but it very well could be. I also read her husband has been, I think she's battled cancer before.
Oh, yeah.
And her husband has been ill. So it very well could just be that as well. So either way, wish her luck.
Sure.
And the other person stepping down is, and this is reported in Variety, I believe, as of yesterday, which is Disney's Chief Diversity Officer, Latondra Newton, is exiting the company. And her reasoning was basically to go work somewhere else. She had other opportunities, is what it said. And I think she has some sort of jewelry brand of her own or something like that as well. So it's interesting. You have two, higher level corporate positions stepping down within a week the same week essentially. So I find that interesting.
Well, they're also kind of moved around some vice presidents of Animal Kingdom, and they're kind of moving them around as well. So there's been a lot of staffing changes.
Well, and it makes you wonder. There's a lot of layoffs going on at Disney.
I know, it's so bad.
And it could be, when you're talking higher level positions, many times, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but many times they're not going to announce someone was fired. They just left the company. And it's a discreet layoff, if you will. that usually has also an NDA attached. Excuse me, an NDA attached with it, where they can't say something. I don't know if that's the case, but the timing of it, along with the other firings, plus there was a lot of people that were let go on the Pixar side that had to do with the Lightyear movie that didn't do so well. So there's a lot of moving parts right now. Not a lot of it at Disney corporate, but a lot of it to do with, on the animation side and stuff like that. So again, we'll probably never know, but it is interesting, I will say the least. I mean, it's either it could be a firing, or if, sometimes it's like if people don't like the direction something's going, people start leaving. That can and has happened at companies before. So, who knows? But that.